Today I got the 60p and we're gonna punch in an egress window. So we've got our well, our grate, and our ladder. The guys inside have the window and the material to make the bucks up and whatnot. So got everything kind of laid out rough. Get a time lapse going. We'll get this dug out. Adam's gonna go grab our stone and some oddball stuff from Home Depot so that we can get this thing punched in today and backfilled and get home. So that is the plan. See how she goes. So the 60p has definitely been a good machine. In this instance, it might be a little bit too much machine for the given hole that we're trying to dig. When you get into these little larger machines, it's definitely a bit of a pain in the ass to dig such a small hole, but if you move around a little bit and stay a little ways off from the hole you're digging, you can get it done. Carved out both sides here, so the yellow is our well. So as you can imagine, this is the well here. So we over dig by one bucket, which is 24 inches. That way we can fit on the outside of the well to be able to tap conduit to the foundation. So I'm down about 6 feet now. This side's probably a little short yet, but I'm gonna huck out the middle and then I'm gonna jump in with a shovel and clean up the foundation wall everywhere that we're going to be working, and then we'll get the bottom nice and flat, and Adam should be back. We'll jump in there with the saw, get everything cut, hang the well, be looking good. So a little bit about these egress jobs. They do take a fair bit of equipment to get accomplished. We use a steel Rock Boss concrete cutting chainsaw for these. We've also used cut and break saws in the past and ring saws. We'd both like to have a nice ring saw at some point, but we've been making the Rock Boss work for now. Usually we can knock these out in about a day. Very rarely do we have to go back a second day. Most of the time we just focus on digging the hole, cutting the concrete, removing the concrete, installing the well, and then leaving it at that point for the carpenters to take over and finish up the bucks and the window install. We have done the bucks and the window install before. It adds probably about 2 hours to the job, so still manageable in a nice long day of work. So I'm down here doing layout, centered up, 27 3/4 either way, makes for a 55 and a half down. Just getting ready to paint our line on, and really, what is that? Junk. All right, so a couple things I wanted to touch on with your layout, because I learned these lessons the hard way, so don't do it like that. The dimensions on this are a 55 and a half inch square hole. So it's the same width as it is height. However, you would think if I just pull a measurement down from the top of foundation and a measurement down from the top of foundation, that does not necessarily mean that this is going to be nice and level. I learned that lesson the hard way because I did that on a job, and one side was, believe it or not, 3/4 of an inch lower than the other, and it was not that the saw went downhill or anything like that. It was strictly because I followed my line, put the level on it afterwards. Not good. So pulled a measurement down, 55 and a half, made a mark, leveled that across so that I know I have a good bottom, and then I plumbed up the sides. We like to hit it with a little orange spray paint and a nice straight board. In this case I have this ripper of an LVL, so it actually stays pretty true, and just paint your line on. Usually when I cut these, because I don't want to cut them twice, I will cut with the blade of the saw to the outside, which should give me approximately 3/8 of an inch additional, which is easy enough for the guys that are going to plug the window in here to shim in and make work. So that is the case for this. I think Adam is back, so we're gonna fire up the saws and get this guy cut. So make sure you bring some muck boots or waders or something with you additional to your regular work boots, because as you'll see here, the hole will fill up pretty quick. That's the steel rock boss that we're using. It's a 16-inch concrete cutting chainsaw. We usually cut through about 6 inches of the foundation to start. That keeps most of the water on the outside of the hole. Then we'll go ahead and we'll punch through the last 2 inches. And that kind of minimizes the amount of cleanup we have to do on the inside of it when we're done cutting. That sucks every time. So we got our vertical scored, our bottom scored twice, because this concrete goes up just a little bit past the siding. So we're hoping if we take like this little 2-inch piece out of here, when we cut the horizontals, the whole piece will set down, and then we can tap con it and pull it out with the mini. So that's why I did that secondary bottom cut there. So Adam is currently getting ready to pump the water out of the basement because it's rather full, and then we'll finish this and get it pulled out of here. This is always the trickiest part of the operation, is what do we need to do to get this to wiggle out with only 3/4 of an inch on the left and right and about 2 inches up and down. So it's definitely a bit of an operation, slow and ginger. We put a lot of faith in those tap cons. Some guys might not like it, but it's always worked, so we're gonna keep trying it like that. But slow and steady. You got about 2 inches left probably. All right, it's all you. Oh, that's okay. We can live with that. All right. 60 definitely does not like that at full extension. Pretty big slug of concrete there, so, but she's out now. And we have a hole. Before I do that thing again, my phone was overheated, so I did not take video of hanging the well. But essentially what we do is we use 4 1/2-inch tap cons on either side. So we just measure and lay out, that way we can keep the well nice and plumb going down, pre-drill all of our holes, then jump in there and hang it. So that's how we get the well hung. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do, but it's done. And then we're gonna take this dirt and shovel it into that hole and cover everything up. And then in the dump trailer over yonder, we have some clear stone that we'll put on the inside of the window well to go from the foundation up to the bottom of the window to promote good drainage. Make sure that that doesn't, you know, have any water go into the house there. So rainbow colored roots. Yeah, that was some spicy roots there. I think that's abandoned though, so I wasn't too worried. But essentially, that's the next step. We're gonna be back at this job in probably like a week or something to put some baby window wells on those two, and then fix some grade issues on this side. So we're gonna leave this stuff piled, let this thing settle in, and then we'll get her all dialed in next time. And then we'll also end up Harley raking this side. They had to upgrade their service. It has 3 meters now. So there's some stuff on the front yard there that needs to get fixed, Harley raked, and then seed and straw. So we're going to do all the fixing around this, along this house, and where the new service comes in, all at the same time. Load of 6 stone into the bottom, and the carpenter just went to take a measurement for the bucks. I think he's going to plop the window in today, and this one will be done. And all right, that's gonna wrap that one up. If you made it to the end of the video, comment Wayne's Pizza, because Adam and I are gonna go get some Wayne's Pizza to celebrate another job well done. Want to say goodbye?
Oh, dude, my breasts are huge. Holy cow.
Wayne's Pizza.
Yep.
That's the place. All right, see you in the next one.